Welcome back to Business Fridays. My name is Nidhi Vadhera. I am a sales coach, author, business consultant, and today I'm going to teach you how to be so good in selling that even before you ask your customers, they are ready with their wallets, their cards to make you a payment. In fact, they feel privileged to be doing business with you. So if you want to learn my secret recipe, stay around, watch this video till the end. But before that, I have a word of caution for you. The strategies that I'm going to discuss on this channel are going to be super powerful. So if your intention is to use these strategies to manipulate your customers, my request is that you exit this video right now. I'm going to count till 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for those of you who are still around me, thank you so much. It goes about proving only two things. One, that your intentions are good, and secondly, that you are associated with the world of selling. So either you are selling or you have sold at some point in your life, maybe a product or service, maybe an idea to an investor, maybe your candidature in an interview. So in your sales journey, I'm sure you encountered some kind of blocks, some kind of hesitation that stop you from achieving your best. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you my secret recipe, which is the 4P formula of selling that will help you achieve success every time you interact with your customers. In fact, today's entire video is based on the 4P formula. So if you are still watching, this means that this formula works. So without further ado, let's get started with the 4 P's of selling. And the first P on my list is promise. When I started my YouTube journey, I connected with another YouTuber friend of mine who was doing fairly well in this space. And the first question she asked me was, how long are your videos going to be? So my reply was maybe about 10 minutes. So she said that if you are unable to grab your viewers' attention in the first 5 seconds, there is no point wasting your time and energy in creating the rest of the 10 minutes of your video because nobody is going to watch. Obviously, I felt hurt and discouraged in that moment. But when I came back home, I did more and more research. I figured out that all the people who are associated with Hollywood, Bollywood, advertising, video creation, some way or the other, they all spend the longest amount of time in designing their opening statement. Now that is called a promise. The first statement that you share with your customers in the first 5 seconds of your interaction, which sets the tone for your entire conversation. What happened when I started this video? In the first 5 seconds, I told you that I'm going to teach you how to be so good in selling that before you ask, your customers are ready with their wallets, their cards to make you a payment. Now that's a promise statement. Focus on creating a powerful promise statement that not only sets the tone for the entire conversation, but gives a clear indication to your customers what they can expect next. The second P on my list is picture. Few years ago, if you remember, the popular interview question used to be, sell me this pen. Now this is a typical sales question and not everybody can answer it. So some people could not answer at all. Some people tried designing a haphazard reply on the spot, while only a few could give a strategic reply. And the strategic approach was not to talk about the product directly. The strategic approach was to create a picture in the buyer's mind, a problem statement in the buyer's mind, and then bring a pen as a solution. One of the strategic replies to your customer, who happens to be your interviewee in this case, could be, imagine that you have been working very hard on a business deal since last 2 months. You've been following up rigorously. And today is the day when your customer has agreed to come to your office and sign the agreement. The moment she's about to sign the agreement, she asks you for a pen. And you pull out a 10 rupee ballpoint pen and hand it over to her. As she signs on the agreement, the ink smudges all over. What kind of impression is she going to carry about you and your organization? Do you think she'll be interested to do any future business with you? But on the other hand, if you hand her over this German engineered pen, which is feather light, writes beautifully, the ink is to die for, and she signs the agreement with this pen, don't you think this is going to be the beginning of a lot of future business for you and for her? This is one of the ways you can approach this question strategically, by painting a problem statement in your customer's mind and then presenting a solution. Now, some of you may ask that Nidhi, isn't selling about being logical? Isn't selling about telling what your product or service can do or how you are better than your competitors? Agreed. Selling is about being logical. But there are two aspects to every sale. One is the emotional aspect and other is the logical aspect. If you really want to convince someone, go after the emotions first. If you observed in this video, before I started talking to you about the 4 P's, I said that if you're still watching the video, this means that you belong to the world of sales. Either you are selling or you have sold at some point in your life. So I evoked the emotions in you, and because of which you found the entire content relatable and you were willing to listen to me. So the next time you are in your sales journey, the second important point, the second P that you have to keep in mind is to paint a picture in your customer's mind so that they find the entire conversation relatable to them. The third P on my list is proof. Couple of years ago, I read a very interesting book on branding, which is called The 22 Immutable Laws of Branding, written by Al Ries and Laura Ries. It's a very powerful book. In fact, I have recently created a video around this book. So if you're interested, go ahead and watch this video if you want more knowledge about branding. Now, one very important lesson that I learned from this book is don't tell people, show them. And the same goes for your customers also. So instead of talking, telling your customers how good you are, how great an entrepreneur you are, how much your company has done, what range of products you have, give them proofs, give them anecdotes, give them stories, give them numbers that will help them build credibility in you and trust you for what you claim to do. And the last P on my list is pitch. Pitch is something that most of the salespeople focus at. But the thing here is that if you miss out on the earlier 3 Ps that I have discussed with you, there is no chance that your pitch is going to be successful. In fact, this reminds me of the example I quoted earlier, that if you cannot grab your customer's attention in the first 5 seconds, if you cannot grab your viewer's attention in the first 5 seconds, there is no point in creating the entire 10-minute video. Now let's assume that you're following the entire process. You have followed all the 3 Ps, promise, picture, proof, and now you have come to the 4th stage, which is pitch. What to do now? This is where I'm going to give you my biggest secret. The thing here is that you may be doing 10 things in parallel. Your company may be doing 10 things in parallel, but you have to be mindful about the information that you share with your customer. Let's assume you're a fitness coach and a customer comes to you with an expectation of a desired body weight or a desired body shape, and you tell them, yeah, it is possible. I can help you with Zumba, yoga, meditation, Pilates, high intensity workout, athletics, etc., etc. Chances are that this customer is not going to buy from you. Not because they doubt your expertise, but because instead of giving them a solution, you have left them confused with so many options. So my biggest secret to follow when it comes to the pitch part is to give your customers one call to action. If I were you, I would say, I can help you lose 5 kilos in 60 days. That is the single call to action I will give to my customer. Of course, I'll pair it up with a few options how we are going to do that. But this is the picture I'm going to paint in my customer's mind with a strong call to action that becomes my pitch. So pitch is a very important part of your conversation. You have to be mindful about how much information you are sharing with your customer. So when it comes to the pitch part, max 1 call to action or at best 2 call to actions, not beyond that is my suggestion. So these are the 4 Ps I wanted to discuss with you in today's video, which are promise, picture, proof and pitch, that are going to make you so strong in selling that the next time, even before you ask your customers, they would be wanting to do business with you, ready to make you a payment. But the only thing to remember here is that when you learn the strategies, you have to action them in your sales journey, without which you are not going to see any results. Now, here is my pitch to you. If you like this video, if you think this content has added some value to you, then don't forget to share it with at least one person who you think will get benefited by this knowledge. So this brings us to the end of the episode. I'm going to see you next Friday. Till then, love your numbers, work hard for your dreams, and remember, unless and until you learn to have fun with the process, you are not going to see any change in your results. Happy selling.